major credit card breach at one Home Depot improvement store could make Target's security breach look small in comparison.
Yeah, that's hard to believe considering how drastic that Target breach was. It involves one of the biggest stores in the world, but now Detroit's Ross Jones is here with who could be affected. Hey, Ross.
Hey, guys, if you've shopped at the Home Depot in the last 6 months, you will want to hear this. Potentially millions of customers' credit card numbers have been stolen.
Experts say it could be the biggest data breach in U.S. history, more massive than the credit card hack that rocked Target earlier this year, affecting 40 million consumers. This latest breach was discovered last week and dates back to April. In a blog published today, the New York Times cites a source who said this Home Depot hack could affect more than 60 million shoppers. Back in February, we reported extensively on the hacker marketplace. On web forums like this, credit card information is sold to the highest bidder. This hacker site peddles credit cards that were freshly skimmed, meaning they were just acquired from a card swipe machine like this one. They were tested before sale, so you know you're getting one that works. And it comes with everything, right down to a user's mother's maiden name. We spoke with a former hacker who didn't want you to see his face, but wanted you to know how vulnerable your personal information is to theft.
Changing it would be a major undertaking. While it should be done, a lot of companies just go, that's not how I wanted to spend that several $1 million this quarter. We should put that off for next year. And then next year never comes.
And as you'd expect, Home Depot today apologized to consumers whose data may have been breached. They have not yet said how many cards have been affected. Now, for more on what this could mean to you, Megan Brennan is taking questions from a security expert. Megan, what do you have to say?
Well, Ross, with this potentially affecting millions of customers, myself included, it's generating a lot of chatter online, as you might have imagined. Joining me now is Tom Holt, Associate Professor of Criminal Justice at Michigan State University. His work focuses on computer hacking and internet crime. Tom, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Tom, we're taking questions on Twitter right now. A lot of people are asking what's next. If they shopped at Home Depot in the last several months, I know I did, what should they do?
Me too. The one thing that you should really start doing is looking at your credit card statements and your bank accounts to see if you notice any odd charges, purchases that you know you didn't make, or purchases at odd websites that you've never heard of, because that's the first sign that your account information may be being used.
And Edward Glenn, one of our Twitter followers, says that after the Target breach, he no longer does any online banking or shopping. So is it a necessary precaution for consumers, or does it sound a little too extreme?
It's a little bit extreme. Certainly using cash is a good way to minimize your security risk, but it's just not possible for most people's everyday transactions.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do without my credit card, I'll tell you that. Now, some banks and card companies I know are adopting microchips to make these transactions more secure. Can you explain to us how that's going to work?
They're called chip and PIN cards, and basically what it does is when you insert your card at payment, the information that's stored on the card is routed to the payment system. So unlike the current setup where you just swipe your card and maybe sign or maybe put in your PIN number if it's over a certain amount, with these types of transactions they're more secure. So it's thought that this would be a way to reduce individual consumers' risk.
Well, thank you so much, Tom Holt, for joining us. This discussion continues right now on the Now Detroit Twitter. Join me there.